Oh shit, the audio wasn't on. It's fine. Wasn't on purpose, by the way. It's Forsake Reformed. It is a podcast, and hello, Seth.
Whoa,
That's my whole.
was that a different
Yeah,
drop?
yeah. I don't know. I had falls on the brain because I'm in an angrier era. That's really what I
Oh.
wanted. I'm in an anger era. I
Are
decided.
are the foals angrier than kind
No,
of
they're not. They're not angry band, but Inhaler's like a. It's got edge. It's a great song.
I do like foals. Is that a Exits Underground song, Foals? Yeah, I like
Exit's
that song
great
a
song.
lot. Yeah.
Great song. But yeah,
That may
we're
be another album to add to my ever
well,
metastasizing
everything not saved will
road
be
trip
lost as a
playlist.
double album, so it's like
Oh
a weird
God.
one because like there are probably 15 great songs like every double album, but it's 20 songs,
It's a
right? So
lot.
there are always
It's a
like
lot.
five extra in a double album you don't need. But I also like I hate music hardos. I'm kind of subtweeting a few people here. But
I wonder who you
I
could be tweeting here.
I couldn't. I'm just saying, don't don't come at like double album opinions because like leave it be. Because I do think I don't know who. I'm just sure someone listening. It could be three people, but one of those three people. Um, I would disagree with the declarative statements, which I think are always stupid unless they are about the NBA, in which case we can make declarative statements, and that is why First Reform Take exists, at least in this iteration. And we have, after what I would describe as one of my favorite meltdown episodes of 2 weeks ago, was it? How long has it been?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
That was a really cool episode. I think I'd come
Yes,
back from losing a job
yeah.
and
That was
some
our
other stuff.
meltdown. That was our meltdown May episode
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
now it's Justified June. We're all gonna watch the show Justified and talk about how I'm gonna cut off what I'm gonna say. Um, but Adam Silver is on trial. Um, and I have here this is the format of the show when we remember to do it. It is I'm trying to get the brightness up. You know what? Everyone can see it. Um,
Yeah, I don't think that's too hard to tell.
we have five categories, and I put a
Yes.
lot of time into these. I put in like 20 minutes, which is a lot for this show.
That's a lot
And
of, yeah.
I have either tweets or things I found on NBA Reddit and did not
Oh
read.
no. You
But
are torturing yourself for this
hmm,
show.
well, I didn't read the comments or just topics in general. We can talk about, and you will select them off the board. And that is how we will figure out what we are talking about for the next 35 minutes.
Okay. Do you want me to, because like since I can actually see the topics, unlike
No,
the
no, let
no?
me explain.
Okay.
Because we had a few ways to do it. I'm
Okay.
letting you see the topics because I feel like they are vague enough where then afterwards you're not going to click Harry Potter, you've already said.
Yeah. Wait.
Afterwards, I flip them and then I have more details. So this one says filming is in like a week, and I want everyone to tell me if it's going to be the biggest show ever made or a huge flop.
I don't know if I
Um,
can people read that?
well,
Okay, yeah.
not that one because that one's long because I knew no one would click on it because
Okay,
it's about
fair.
Harry Potter. But the
Okay.
other ones have like odds if we're talking about finals MVP or more information, and I think they'll be able to see it. Um,
Okay. Well, I
Like
still
Jason
want
Tatum just has a sad face.
he has died. Rip Jason Tatum. He is in Valhalla with Victor Wembanyama. All right. Well, I still want an element of randomness to this. So even though nobody can see what I'm doing, I'm going to throw a paper clip at the big board, and that is how I'm going to determine what topics we talk about. So we're going to go. Okay. Actually, pretty good start. OKC versus Indiana for 100. Game one, who you got?
All right. It is. I should have actually made you guess the line, Bill Simmons style, but is
I already knew the
Thunder.
line was -9, though I saw it earlier, so it wouldn't have been a particularly whatever the word is,
Well,
exciting segment.
I have a strong take on this. I want you to guess the take.
The take is you think Indiana cover or not covers,
Yeah,
beats the spread.
I do. I do. I
I
think
I
nine is
would
way too high.
I agree. And I would actually take Indiana money line on this game because
That I wouldn't do, but go on.
we, well, this series just reeks of gentleman sweep potentiality. Indiana is going to win a game. I think what we've seen with OKC throughout the playoffs is that the level of defensive intensity that they have to maintain in order to win, they can't do every game of a 7 game series. Now,
I
they
agree with
can
that. I think
do it
that's a good take.
enough. They can do it enough to win a series in 5, 6 games, but they always drop a snoozer, and they did that against the Timberwolves because they just can't maintain it. They just take their foot off the gas, and I don't know if it's going to be game one and Indiana comes out with a little more juice because they've got the chip on their shoulder. I don't know if it's going to be game three because OKC has taken a 2-0 lead and a fairly easy 2-0 lead and they ease off. I mean, I'm also answering 200 here. I think it goes 5 games. Um, I do think, what was it, plus 200? Yeah, plus 200 for 5 games feels like a pretty good bet.
Yeah,
Um, I
well, go
just
on and then
think,
I'll come in.
yeah, I'm gonna just run through this whole category because I think it's worth, we should,
Run through the first three, and then
I want
I'll
to run
run
through.
through the first
Okay,
three.
okay, okay, fine, fine. As far as who raises the trophy, it's going to be a Thunder unless Shea gets hurt or something like that. Um, Indiana, they can certainly push it to 6 games. Um, they can get hot from three, but the separator here is the Thunder are an elite defense, and the Pacers just aren't. I mean, the Pacers did enough against the Knicks to sort of gum up the works. They did a lot of picking up Brunson in the half court, but like against the Thunder, either Shea's just going to crash into his defender and flop and draw a foul, or he's going to feed Williams or Chet or somebody in the low post and get some easy buckets that way. I think this is a series where Miles Turner gets a bit exposed. Um,
Yeah.
I think defensively, you, Oklahoma has just so many guys that they can switch on to Tyrese or onto Siakam. I mean, I think Lou Dort can guard either of those guys. I think you can have Hartenstein. I don't know how he pronounces it. The German guy and Chet.
I'm not even gonna criticize your pronunciations
They
this
can
week.
shut down Turner, I think, pretty easily. And Shea himself is a really good on-ball defender. I mean, so if you're matching him against Halliburton and trusting Lou to handle Pascal, and you're trusting Alex Caruso to handle Nemhard or what the hell's his name, Ben Shepherd or whoever their 3-point cheap shot guy is. Um, I I don't know. I mean, the only advantage the Pacers have is I do think their overall depth is better, but I mean, you're asking for Shea to have 4 bad games in order to beat them, and they just do not have the defensive capability of forcing Shea into 4 bad games. And even if the officials are swallowing their whistles the whole series, I don't know. I think it would be an all-time stunner if the Thunder didn't win this series, given the historical trends of, teams based off net rating, things like that. So yeah, I'm saying OKC in 5. You want to run through the
I
the top
do.
three?
I
Sure.
want to run through mine. First of all, I do like the Pacers. I think 9 point it's now 9.5
Yeah,
I'm seeing. I think that line is goofy.
I
And
agree.
I don't even really respect the Pacers that much. Sorry. I like them, but yeah, I don't know. Not against OKC, but just the way they fight back and the way NBA games swing and the way a team can take their foot off the gas defensively, or you can just get hot and eliminate those leads. Yeah, I have no idea why you would bet that for OKC. That's just a betting thing. Enough people talk about betting where we don't have to, thank God. But I do think it's a little disrespectful. And I'm not exactly out here to respect Indiana right now. I agree with you. We're not going 4 games. It doesn't feel like OKC. OKC reminds me too much of the Celtics. It's like you said, there's always going to be a game where they take their foot off the gas defensively. Low key, I kind of like 6 games here.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I
Because
mean, I
I
can see
do
6 games
I do
easily.
think where we'll get into it is just that OKC mentally could have some problems. They haven't really proven all that to me yet. But I agree. I think 5 games, and I think it's you know what? I think it's game 2 they drop, maybe. Like actually dropping one at home and rope-a-doping us into thinking this will be fun, and then just taking care of business on the road and winning at home. I think it's something like that. We can get into that a little bit more with Kino or Trash, but I think we're in agreement with 5. And then, yeah, ways OKC loses the series. You said Shea gets hurt. That's 1. I think 2 is just a pure mental collapse. Like, to a
I
level where I'm not sure we've seen it since LeBron against the Mavs. Um, we actually did
well,
low
I
key
don't.
see it a little bit with the Celtics
I
against the
wasn't thinking of
Warriors.
LeBron against the Mavs. What was the series where he like lost it against the guy who allegedly had sex with his mother, who is now like
That was
homeless?
an Eastern Conference final, though.
Right,
That
that to
was
me
like,
was like the all-time LeBron mental collapse, which I think
yeah, I'm thinking of a
predates.
finals loss.
Oh,
That is
fair,
predates.
fair.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
a finals collapse, and it's like there aren't many big favorites who have fallen apart. I think the Lakers had one. I actually think '04 against the Pistons was like a lot of weird stuff with Kobe. Um, But yeah, it would be something odd. I don't think Rick Carlisle is that good to get around this team. And anyone who listened to this early in the year, I'm kind of like I'm a cooler in a lot of ways, but I'm also on a bit of a heat check with champions because I had OKC and I had the Panthers in NHL, and so far, that's looking pretty correct. So, yeah, I even think 675 minus is fair. I think those odds are right. Like, I don't think we need to pretend. I see a lot of pretending Indiana's going to make this competitive, and like, I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not doing this to be a sourpuss. I just don't see it. So,
Okay.
do you want
Uh,
to do Keno or Trash or Finals MVP next?
um, I kind of want to do Finals MVP because I don't really want to get into um the Kino or Trash debate, just because I have kind of a wacky Finals MVP take, and that's I kind of think Jalen Williams might win. Um,
2,500.
I only because I can see it being a scenario where Shea has like one big game, and Indiana's approach is to try to double team him a lot. And maybe that's how they steal 1 or 2 games as Shea needs to adjust. And eventually he just starts feeding Williams, who I think has proven he can be enough of a secondary guy to carry the load when Shea's having an off night. So I sort of like have this mental vision of Jalen having like 3 consecutive games where he's the lead scorer and the Thunder win all those games. And even if Shea on balance was the better player in the series, the media just sees that Jalen had the highest scoring average and gives him the finals MVP. And I'm kind of pulling for him because he had this really sad quote after they won the West where he's like, I've never won anything, so I
I
hope we
saw that.
keep winning. It was like, why? Like, did he not have like a? I know he went to Santa Clara, which I don't think was a good team when he played there, but like, did he not like win in high school at all? I mean, that was kind of a bummer quote. But so I'm pulling for him, and like, I feel like he's gotten a lot of very unfair flack as supposed to be like the 1B guy on the Thunder, and he hasn't always risen to the occasion. But like, I think I can see him doing it in the finals because the Pacers are just going to totally focus their defensive attack on Shea, and I think it's going to backfire on them. I think Jalen, I can see, I'm going to be completely wrong. Shea's just going to average 30
No,
points a game and win the MVP. But
no, but I think
this
you're
is
right
this is my
spiritually.
this is my vision of how J Dub can win the Finals MVP, and I don't
So
really
I
see any other player on the Thunder besides him and Shay stepping up enough to win the award.
I kind of like the idea of Chet, but that's not realistic. I think
Chet has just
I know.
he's
He's
just
been
been, I
kind
mean, he's
of
fine
fine.
defensively, but like he really has not. I mean, he did have that one big game in game four, but like other than that, he's just been kind of okay.
Yeah, like mid tens,
Jalen has
20s
been like a
scoring,
lot more steady, I think. And he's been
and
like
not even getting the
very good
boarding.
defensively, like much better defensively than I think he normally is.
Well, so I think spiritually you're right in that it's gonna be his series from a media perspective. Because if you're the NBA and you're trying to build the game up a bit, or any of these networks, although the rights are moving, like people know Shay. Like I do judge a lot by like what students know. And it's actually a very, very good barometer for normies, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And Shea, like people know Shea, people. By the way, LeBron's still like number one. He's a
Well,
meme. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I
But
mean, he's
just so
going to be the
that
face of the
debate
NBA
is
till he
yeah,
retires,
just
which
so
is sooner
that
rather than
debate
later.
is
But
done because it's a dumb debate, but just so
yes.
we're clear. But yeah, I don't think anyone really knows Jalen Williams. And could he get the Jalen Brown arc? Yeah, he could. I mean, he won't. It's going to be
Are
Shea, but he
are we
could.
including the anti-Semitism in the Jalen Williams arc or
It's
no?
the NBA, so probably.
Shoot.
Um,
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. I think we've covered our finals preview enough. I'm gonna try
we
to
can
aim
always
for
go back to it.
true. I'm gonna try to aim for let's talk about something else now because that's always fun. Oh geez. Well, the paperclip hit Hollywood actresses. So what do you got for me here?
Mikey Madsen is to star in
Ooh.
A24's The Mask
Oh.
of the
Ooh.
Red Death, replacing Sydney Sweeney. Your
Um,
thoughts on the Hollywood starlet war that is
Mikey
going to
Madison
start to
is
rage?
probably a better actress than Sydney Sweeney, even if I think we're all
Correct.
sort of in agreement that Sydney Sweeney is the Hollywood it girl of the moment for very obvious reasons.
Well,
I'm intrigued about an adaptation of Mask of the Red Death,
well,
which I
I
think
have
has
some
that has been
bad
a film
news.
before. What is the bad
It's
news?
that they said there are going to be many TikTok audience will love it weird moments.
Oh Christ. Is this what
So it kind of
A24 is going to
sounds,
lean into now?
yes, it is. Like, Emerald
Ugh.
Fernell, who I hate. She's
No,
one
is
of
she
my enemy
directing
directors.
this?
No, she's not. It's some other
Oh,
guy, and he might be good.
oh.
So
So why'd you bring up Emerald Fennell then?
well, she does a lot of that crap where
Yes,
I
that
kind of
was
think
the
it's
big
marketing.
criticism of Saltburn. That, as someone on Letterboxd succinctly put it, Saltburn exists so people who run like movie tumblers can take screenshots of it. Like bad movie. I agree with you. I don't think she's a particularly good director or actress.
Talentless
Um,
hack.
tremendous chin. I love the jawline on her, but beyond that, not a fan. Okay, we'll see. I mean,
Oh, and Mikey
I
Madsen
if
also
you're
turned down Star Wars, a bad Star Wars, not like Andor. Well, it
which
could be
star
good.
what Star
They're
Wars
gonna
have you
make a
turned down?
Starfighter film by Zach Levy,
You
which
mean a TIE
sounds
Fighter
bad.
film?
No, it's gonna because
Starfighter? What the hell would that be?
that would maybe be interesting. This will have Ryan Gosling and be annoying, but she turned it down over money, which I love and
As
respect
what?
so
Yes.
much.
After Honora, she should be able to write her own checks, and I
Do
think
not do that unless they are paying you the bag.
correct,
Unless Tony
correct.
Gilroy is writing, which he's not.
He's not. What if it's his brother, whose name I forget, who is
Dan
writing?
Gilroy
What
and
is
his other brother, edits, but he is not writing either. It is a Sean Levy film. He's the guy who did like Deadpool, but also I think like
Oh,
Shazam,
that's gonna be, oh
Night
my
at the
God.
Museum. Yeah,
That's gonna be nonstop. To use
yeah.
a
You
non-woke
better get
phrase,
the bag
soy
for that.
dialogue. Yeah, that's gonna be terrible.
You
Okay.
need the bag.
All right. Well, Mikey, I mean, fingers crossed, Mask of the Red Death. I mean, they've already adapted it once. I've read the
Great
original
story. I
story. It's
love the story.
fantastic. Yes, one of Poe's best. I'm
From
hoping when
Providence, I
they,
believe.
I'm hoping that if they're Edgar Allan Poe's not from Providence, he's from Baltimore.
Well, no, but I
But
think
in
he
any
has a stop in
is he
Providence.
spiritually from Providence like everybody else?
Spiritually,
Okay,
yes.
anyway. Um, if they're gonna do like lean into like the TikTok weird moments thing, I hope they go full Baz Luhrmann and just make it a spectacle. Because even when Baz Luhrmann is bad, and frankly he's bad more often than not, he is a spectacle, and that is worth
Edgar Allan
something.
Poe had a significant romance with poet Sarah Helen Whitman, who was from Providence.
It's always something with you. Okay. All right, let's move on. Where does the magic paperclip take us next? Um, I hit ECF MVP, which feels like the
This is
least
quick.
interesting of playoff fallout. What
No,
is
this
this?
is
I can't
quick.
even read that.
I'll read it to you.
Mountain
It's just for me. I was
Pass.
surprised it went to Siakam, and I don't think it's an interesting
Who's Tim?
discussion. But that Tim McMahon guy, the kind of NBA writer from Dallas, who's really annoying.
Oh,
Um,
does he write for ESPN?
yeah, I think he's still on ESPN because he was doing Windhorse podcast.
ESPN has had some of the dumbest basketball takes recently, and it's like
It's bad.
usually they're not that of their four, I guess six sports if you're counting college basketball and football, like of their sports they cover, usually their basketball writing is the least bad.
I
And
have
like
a
the fact,
theory.
okay,
I
we love
think they
theories
have
on here.
fed the AI machine
Oh,
old ESPN takes to make new ESPN takes, and it's spitting out some of the worst crap imaginable, including a slightly provocative Eastern Conference Final MVP, even though Siakam was
even though
plenty
no one
deserving.
could possibly give a shit about it. I mean, I don't
Yeah, plenty
know.
deserving. I all
Yeah.
I know is I woke up the morning after and I went to see Halliburton's wiki, which I do after events to see like all his honors, be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I do.
where's Halliburton?
I do that too. I do that
And
too.
he didn't have the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and I was like, oh, that's weird. They must not have updated it.
I am still very salty that I don't think Damian Lillard's wiki, what do they call it? Like a wiki box or something or info
Yeah,
box
designed
does
terribly,
not
by the way.
does not have his oh, it does list him as NBA Cup champion, but it does not, I don't think it lists him as being on the all
All,
NBA
huh,
all NBA all
that's
tournament
brutal.
team. And I don't think any of
That
them
should
have that.
count.
Giannis, I don't even know if Giannis has he does
That
okay, he
should
does have
count.
NBA Cup MVP, but they don't list. And like I gotta be honest with you, like the NBA Cup, only thing Dame is going to win now because he is
Oh yeah,
dead.
forget it.
So like I and like look, you got to get on that if you're Adam Silver. You got to find an autistic person who wants to spend 18 hours a day editing Wikipedia like every other wiki editor, and you need them to add these to the info boxes because that's how you blow up the tournament. That's what makes it important because people believe me, that's what the AI shit is pulling from.
That
So
is what you need it from.
if you want Wayland Zoomers to know anything when they go to chat GPT and say, what does Dame Lillard want? You want them to say, hey, he was all NBA Cup uh, tournament team 2024. Okay. All right, we can move on from that take. I'll aim for Adam Silver on trial, although I did not watch
Mm,
any of this interview, so it may be you carrying us here. All
I
right.
watched
I I
clips.
hit I hit 200 All-Star game. So what did he have to
Yeah,
say
this
about
is
that?
pretty simple, but it's nice to
Oh,
hear.
but
It's
this
going
isn't
to
a
be
bad
USA
but
versus
this has
World.
been known for a while that this was going to be the format. And like this should be the format. Like
Correct.
this is actually a rare Adam Gold W.
Hmm.
I think and this is actually a perfect time for the
He
narrative now
doesn't
that
know the
the
format yet, though. He doesn't know like how they're going to do it, he said, and I
just
believe he's going to mess it up somehow.
somehow it'll be messed up, but like the narrative is there. We've had four straight MVPs who are not American born.
Yeah,
I
maybe
read
five.
somewhere that I guess Jay Williams on ESPN blamed
Five.
like
It's five.
cancel culture or something for why there's no American
That's correct.
MVPs.
That's true.
He actually did that.
He's right. He should say it. I don't
Oh,
know why, but I'm going to agree with him for fun.
ugh,
Um,
okay. I
a
speaking
good
of
thing
ESPN
about
contributors who are very stupid.
oh yeah.
I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like he is being told to be purposely inflammatory. Like you see that with like Chris Canty
No,
and
I
some
don't
other
think
guys who should
he
know
is. I
better.
don't think he is.
You
He
think he's a
feels like
Kendrick
he's
Perkins where he's legitimately a stupid guy who thinks he had much more of a career than he did.
well, I think Kendrick Perkins is being set up to be stupid. I think Jay Williams just has bad
He
opinions.
just has bad opinions. And I think he does have bad
Like
opinions. Okay. Moving on. I
just a
mean, I
short good thing is that
oh yeah.
All-Star game will be during the Winter Olympics on NBC. So he's
Oh,
going full marketing brand here,
I like that. I
and
like
I
that.
actually think it's really good. So rare Adam Gold moment.
Yep, I agree. Okay. Let's see what we got next here from the paperclip. Lucky for you, I hit Star Wars Andor. Let's talk about something else for 100.
Dude, you first of all, it's the
650.
best show.
I
It's
still
maybe
need,
the
I'll
best show
watch
of
it
all time.
eventually. We have Disney Plus, so but like, I do not have time to like
Well, that's fair.
do
I've
things.
had a lot of similarities,
Like,
and
need,
the show might have inspired some addictions or whatever. But I will say, streaming is dead. Being the big takeaway is I really don't know this whole like return to the theaters thing. I hate it. I don't know. I
the
want to.
return to the theaters thing is fake. I also think streaming numbers are fake. I think live television numbers are fake. It is all fake. And
I
eventually,
so if
someone is
nothing's
going to
real, can we just give
program.
money to good people?
Yes, yes, because eventually someone's just going to program an AI bot to watch all these things and pull a Spotify YouTube algorithm where
Mhm.
all of the views and all, or the whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it, are just gen. It's all
Well,
fake. It's all
Seth,
fake.
and this is why you
We
would
are in the
love Tony
desert. We are
Gilroy.
on the basketball court of the real here,
This
to
is why
paraphrase.
that's why you would
Uh,
love Tony Gilroy
I do love Tony
because he
Gilroy.
was, well, even more
I
because
know
he
I would
was
like
saying
Andor. It's a time thing. It's a
he was no,
timing
I
thing.
get that. He was saying that he was going to release a script book like a lot of people do, and then he didn't do it
Oh,
because of
no,
the
I know
AI
about this.
problem.
Yes. And
He's
he's
so
correct to
cool.
do so. He is correct to do
I
so.
actually
Tony
think he's kind of
Gilroy.
wrong to do it because I think
Oh,
Disney will just feed it anyway,
yeah.
right? But I guess other AIs that they're not selling to
Yeah, fair
is
enough.
the thing that he's
Okay.
right about. Great show.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
move on.
Let's move on. What are we getting to here next? Okay, back to
We're gonna
Adam
run out
Silver
of
on
time.
how much time do we have?
Probably 15 minutes.
All right. Well, we're not going to cover all of these, but
No,
Adam
we're
Silver on
not.
trial. What is this about quarters versus halves? What did he have to say about
Have you
that?
been following this a little? I think I might have spelt some stuff wrong here. Whatever. Um, I don't have a quote for it.
Coot. Coot.
Whatever. Um, I called a Wahoo city or whatever. I was
Okay, I can
bad
read
at
this. I don't
writing,
have a quote for this one, but the guy clearly wants two 20-minute halves. And I think he's right, Waylon,
but
but
I
I
don't
don't
like him that much, so I
I
don't
don't
trust
trust.
him.
Yeah, I we don't need to waste time on this one. 20-minute halves are never happening. It's always going to be 48 minutes. I think even the
He
players want
admitted
48
that.
minutes.
So he
Yeah.
admitted that, but I don't know. I'm just saying that I think the NBA needs structural changes.
Yeah, probably.
And that's, I'm probably the only person who likes basketball, who, like a lot of people who hate basketball say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Um,
they want to like get rid of the 3-point line altogether. And it's like,
yeah.
shut up. You are a boomer. Go away.
But I feel like
Um,
I'm one of the only chill people who, like, I really think free throws can go. I honestly believe this.
how free throws are meted out needs to be changed. And I think we've discussed this in the Discord
It's
and maybe
wasting too
someday.
much time.
I do agree with you. I am personally in favor of the free throw clock idea, but
The
um
shift, let me just say this. The shift between the 1960s and the 2000s is less of a gulf than the shift between the 2000s and the 2020s. I
I
fully believe that.
think you are correct. I
And
think you're
if I
correct.
think we're talking between the 10s and the 30s, like the world, I believe some kooky things I've realized, but I'm also right about a lot of them. And like one of the things I think about is I work with like a lot of 60-year-olds who have been institutionalized and not like Oilers goal, they're down one still, who have been in teaching forever. And it's like, I do have more life experience than these people because if you're not out in the real world since like 2020, I don't know, dude. The whole world is changing. That's my kooky minute. I'm not gonna go into it, okay?
Okay. Okay. We
But
have
I
spent way
believe it.
more time on this than necessary. So let's get, I'm going to aim for the last category here because we haven't covered any of these. So let's see what we get here. And like, I do want to sort of vent my spleen on what Adam Silver said about the Mavericks in his interview, but like, whatever. It's water under the
It's dumb.
bridge.
It's
Or as my
coverage.
friend Trevor Hagelbaum Strunk, please listen to his podcast, No Cartridge Audio. His family is dying. As he says, it's all spaghetti for the spaghetti machine. Anyway, the future, it's not what you've seen. I
Quote
got
false.
25. I technically hit Tom Thibodeau, but I'm not interested in talking about him.
It's
So
fine.
25, 26 odds. What do we got here?
These are small.
What?
These are the odds. I want to see if anything
Oh,
jumped out to you.
this is way too early to talk
I
about.
agree, but do you think anyone here is going to attack the off season and jump up?
No.
Really?
I
Because I
don't
think Cleveland,
nobody
Houston.
nobody knows how to navigate the CBA yet. They just don't. I think Houston's odds are way too long right now.
Hmm.
That's I would get in on that.
I
Um
like Houston a lot. I hate to say how much I like LA, but
what's Golden State's odds right
I think it
now?
was 24 or
Oh my God,
2200.
I may put money on that
I
now.
agree. I think that's a little longer than
That's
it should
way
be.
too
They could
long.
attack it.
I would say like plus
They could go all in,
1500.
right? Yeah, couldn't they?
Even if they don't go
Like,
all in, like they would have beaten the Timberwolves if Steph's hamstring hadn't popped. Like
yeah,
they
I
clearly looked
mean,
like the better team.
aren't a lot of
Um,
these teams? I know what I wanted to say is like, I know we're all going to do this thing where we're going to say OKC will dominate and run it back. And they have the assets to do it this time.
I
But
know,
we
but
all said it
we've
about the
talked about this
Celtics. We all
4
said it
years in
about
a
Denver.
row. Yeah.
And
I think we even said about
you're
Milwaukee.
absolutely, Giannis was young. They had
I
a
know.
pretty young team and they
Yeah.
screwed that up pretty bad.
Yeah,
Man, the Oilers
I
stink.
would take the field over Oklahoma, which pretty much guarantees them a dynasty knowing my cooler powers,
Yeah, I mean, I
but
do
I'm
think
just
they
saying
might three-peat,
logically.
but
Yeah,
I also think
logically.
Presti could, and never mind ownership and how they could try and say, we're going to run this for 20 years, which good luck, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. I
Okay.
just had all the odds up. If you have nothing else, we can move
I
on.
think Knicks odds are just those are too short right now for me. They're in like Cleveland territory. They're like plus 1,000 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Cleveland's a better team.
All right, we got 10 minutes here. What do we got? What do we got? All right, I hit Tom Thibodeau again. The paperclip really wants us to talk about Tom.
Oh shit, I forgot I wrote this. That's really good.
Do
I'm
you think
really glad.
anybody watching this outside of like the core five people in our Discord even knows who Louis Theroux is?
That's a really, I'm
We
surprised I'm
have
laughing
30
at my own
subscribers. There
joke.
has to be a few people that we are not personally familiar with who watch this. And
I think I put this in just to make this
I think you
line and
did.
I
Okay.
forgot about it.
We can move on. I'm glad we saw it. Okay. Paperclip again time. We already did Jason Tatum kind of with us the sad face. I
I'm
mean,
sad.
there's nothing to talk about.
No, it sucks.
It does suck. And I say that as someone who's not a particularly big Tatum fan, but like
He's
he is
not
a
going to be the
top,
same.
no, and he's a top five player in the league, and he's not, and like the
Never again.
Celtics, like they're gonna have to blow it up. And like I think I have no sympathy for the Celtics in the abstract, but like if you are a fan of them, that sucks. Like they are back in the mud, and ultimately
Yeah.
like, yes, they did get one title out of the Jays when it was looking dicey, but they really are a team that should have won at least two titles before having to make the
I
Drew
mean, it's the
Holiday,
same thing as the
Kristaps
'08
trigger.
Celtics. They got their one, and it's kind of an underperformance. I mean, I
Yeah,
do think they can come, like, there is a way forward. Brad is smart, but I
he
doubt
is.
it. I'm not looking
Okay.
super bright on it.
All right. Paperclip, where are we going now? Nick's Brunson draw? I'm
Oh,
not
this is
familiar with
totally
this.
new. This just broke, and it might all be BS, but I
Wait, oh
saw it.
yeah. Pull it.
According to multiple Knicks players took issue with presence of assistant coach Rick Brunson, father of star Jalen Brunson, believing he had too big of a say in
So
things.
I wanted to bring something up with you, and this actually could have gone with the Tom Thibodeau thing as well. But I saw some ESPN talking heads say that they believed that Thibodeau getting fired was player driven,
Yup,
which
that came
I
out
don't,
too, but I don't know if I buy it.
I don't buy that at all because
They're
all
trying
we've
to
heard from
blame it
the
on Cat, actually.
because of course we're gonna blame it on Cat. Everybody blames everything on Cat, the poor bastard. But
I know.
like the players have universally said under Thibodeau every time the minutes comes up that they like playing that many minutes and they like playing for Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, I
So
cracked
I
it.
don't.
No, I cracked it.
What did you crack?
Um, it's just I mean it's literally just Dolan leaking stuff to blame the players because
Yeah.
Dolan doesn't want to take responsibility. It's
You know
that
what? I think you're
simple.
100% right. I think he went to whatever stuffed
Yep.
shirt at ESPN and said, "Oh, the players wanted this." And you know
It's
what?
that
I
simple.
bet you this Rick Brunson thing's the same thing. This is
Yep.
unfortunately the Knicks will never win shit as long as Dolan is.
This
Well, it's
is
not
just the Dolan
unfortunately.
playbook.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, I think he's kind of right to fire Thibodeau,
I
but
think
for the
he
wrong
was
reasons.
correct, but like this is Dolan being a spoiled rich baby who
Yep.
deserves nothing. Okay, moving on. Uh My paperclip seems to have bounced into the ether, but it did land on beer before it bounced away. So hell, let's talk about beer.
Can I,
Oh,
what should I get Friday?
I don't really know what's available in the Northeast. I assume
Most things.
do you have access like Narragansett? Because that's always a pretty good.
Narragansett is like my beer. So yeah,
Okay,
I'll pound
but
some
that's like what you're
Gansets.
used to. Okay. If you want to go for a beer that I believe is universally available, I would say any of the Voodoo Ranger variants, if you
Okay.
really feel like getting
Okay.
fucked up.
I'll get the Voodoo Ranger. You know
Yeah,
what?
the
Student
Juicy
teaching, I
Haze
did that.
IPA is basically liquid fentanyl. I
I
mean,
think
I
we're gonna do the
cannot
dog
believe.
dose in that, and we're gonna I'll be posting on the Discord.
Oh yeah, you are going to be crossfaded, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I would love to go out tomorrow for game one and drink and have brats
Oh, I would too.
with the crowd at the Chinese restaurant that we go to. And yes, they serve brats. It's a long story, but mostly because I think
The
the owner gets sick of
longos.
cooking Chinese food and just wants to eat meat. But that would require me sort of ignoring my family for 2 nights in a row, and that may be a tough sell. So we'll see. Okay, magic paper clip. What do we got now? Uh, we need to talk more about the Phoenix Suns. No, we do not, paperclip. Do not click on that. Oh, come on. I'm not
Okay.
reading all that.
No,
Oh,
Matt Ishiba is stupid.
he is stupid. That's all we
He
need to
wants to
know.
do more. He's dumb.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's see here. Inside the NBA, what do we have to say about that?
Um, Sources
Inside the
say
NBA.
they're unlikely to change anything. ESPN wanted Barkley for 20 years, so they're not going to change it.
That's
I
none of that
agree,
is
but I also kind of think inside the NBA isn't that good.
no,
And
it's not. I don't know what
so,
else to say. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think it's kind of like a really shitty beat up old pair of shoes that you just wear because like you know they
yeah.
fit. Like I understand the logic behind why people like inside the NBA. Okay. I I'm cheating here. I really want to see what you have to say about more ESPN crap. What exactly?
Um, oh, they're probably going to get rid
Nickname.
of Doris Burke.
I feel like people have
Um,
turned on her pretty
they
hard.
have Providence College's own.
Of
Um,
course. There's always a
yeah.
connection there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
she's
Burke maybe.
out.
Yeah, Burke, I think maybe cooked. I don't know who they replace her with, but like people, I don't know. She's
I
sort
don't
of
know, but
like
I think she's okay. I don't really like her. I guess she's just okay, but
I don't know.
I like her
I
personally
always kind
enough.
of felt she was white noise, which I mean is all you
I
really
know.
want when people are announcing, unless someone's going to be a Breen level or like
Yeah.
early era Gus Johnson when like he would just
And he
go
was cool.
nuts. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to Adam Silver on trial here. Mavericks. Okay, let's all
Just
talk about the
let's
Mavericks
finish
first.
with this.
This is the only
They
part of the
were
interview I saw, and this
trying to win.
infuriated me.
They were trying to win, though.
This is
Odds
yeah,
are
this
odds, and that's how it turned out.
yeah, this is So I was thinking about
It's
this.
not like it's 1 in a million,
I was
guys.
thinking about this earlier, and I think the biggest problem with Adam Silver is he wants to be David Stern.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
does.
wants the moment where David Stern got booed at the draft and cupped his ear to the crowd like fucking
Gary
Hulk
Bettman.
Hogan in the NWO. Yeah. And Adam Silver just does not have David Stern's riz. So this is him trying to be stern and trying to do a wink and a nod about how this draft, you know, was it
Was
incredibly rigged?
pretty clearly